So it's really not that hard not being cringe, or at least stopping being cringe if you're a company. All it takes is one tweet or Rooney. I'm going to share this ancient magic with all of the corporate social media managers watching. It's easy. Just don't post cringe. It's not really that hard, and you think it would be, but it's really hard for a lot of folks out there. We'll start off just by promoting something being on lotuses.com, being Lawrence Wright's The Looming Tower, which was a, disaster, and so is Bud Light. So moving to Bud Light, very similar outcomes. Well, their stock got 9/11, so that's a segue. I don't know if you can change that to a month instead of a day there, so we can see more of an impact of what happened.
There we go.
Move it to a month. We can see.
Ew.
Yeah.
Something happened.
This is the parent company, obviously, that owns Bud Light and every other beer under the sun in the United States, or at least the crap ones. And even with Bud Light only being a small portion of them, they've lost 11% of their stock price. Because
I've heard in some regions as well, that's the average. In some regions, it's between 29 and 34.
well, the real worry because there's a difference between sales and stock price,
Yeah.
obviously. And a lot of investors are looking at this and thinking, those sales prices, you know how you keep going to the shop and no one's buying Bud Light? You know how you go to a football game and there's one guy selling Bud Light and he has no customers.
Yeah.
And everything next to him has 1 million customers.
That's the baseball stadium, Fenway, yeah, where the entire booth has just nobody queuing for it.
When there's video evidence of no one buying the product, I do kind of get worried about the sales figures, and maybe I shouldn't invest in the company, and people are bailing, and they should bail harder, obviously.
So our friends over at Timcast, shout out to Phil Labonte specifically, made the point that this is never going to go away even if they do apologise for the Dylan Mulvaney thing. And the reason is, what's going to happen is you and your bros, you're going to go out to a bar, there's going to be a girl sitting at the end of the bar, you will order your drinks, you order a Bud Light, and one of your buddies is going to go, what, you gay?
Yeah.
And you're never going to buy that beer again. That's it. It's going to be known as the gay beer. Even if they are drinking fruity cocktails, they're going to be going, well, yeah, this is fruity, but it's delicious. And your beer is gay and it tastes terrible.
They've taken too long to respond for them to ever recover from this.
Yep.
Literally, how will they ever financially recover from this? They won't, probably.
Yep.
And it's worse than you think, though. It's not just, bro, he's gay, he's drinking Bud Light. Well, apparently bars have stopped selling Bud Light to avoid that exact situation, because not only is it, haha, he ordered the funny drink, it's, let's beat him up. So, let's go to the next one here. And it's Joe Rogan talking about the news that a bunch of bars have stopped selling Bud Light because they keep causing bar fights where people keep calling each other gay and them going, nah-huh, and him going, uh-huh, and then they fight.
America's bars are literal playgrounds.
Yeah. Well, that's just funny, I'll be honest. It's this is the thing. Marketing's important. You don't let the moron with the pronouns handle your social media account and think everything will be fine. No. You're going to take this seriously if you actually want to sell the product, because otherwise, your product gets blacklisted from every bar purely for the fact that people are fighting over whether or not it means you're gay. This is not something you should not take seriously if you ever want to sell product. But, I don't know, corporate America decided they wouldn't. And of course, the memes are still very funny, and we're going to enjoy one of them. Just complete Dino randoms are like, yeah, I'm going to keep making Bud Light memes, and they keep coming back. Let's play this one. This is a new gold.
Oh. Yeah. I don't really let the politics affect me. I've been drinking it my whole life. It hasn't changed me, so.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Average Bud Light drinker with his thong. Yeah, put it back, move on. And, well, as much as the memes are the memes, the truth is also the truth, which is entirely what the memes are. No one's buying it. No one. If we get the next one here, we can see. There's just some guy talking about the fact that every single shelf was sold out in Florida, except Bud Light. Every case of Bud Light was still there.
Have you heard that they're giving retailers $20 rebates, which basically means that they're giving the beer away literally for free if they sell them at that?
Because it's $19.99. Yeah. You've got to be pretty desperate to be like, look, drink the beer. Just show people that you're drinking the beer in public so people don't think it's gay anymore. So, I don't know, man. It's already the Alex Jones water.
Well, this is what basically collapsed the comics industry in the 1990s, because they kept doing variant covers and special marketing gimmicks, and so the shops bought loads of the comics, and then when people realised they weren't that special and they couldn't buy them to then invest and sell them on as collector's items, they stopped buying them. So the shelves were just full of unsellable comics. So the lines got cut and loads of comic shops closed. So Bud Light are just cramming stores and bars full of unsellable, undrinkable piddle water, they're just going to fold.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bad product to begin with anyway. But
Well.
I mean, that's why I'm really. There's some people who are like, well, say some people. Donald Trump's son, who was like, "Stop it! They're an American patriot." It's like, I
Yeah.
don't really care. They sell crap.
Yeah. Also, I don't trust Americans' opinions on booze, because even though your bourbon's kind of okay, I was drinking with Americans this
No.
weekend, and they were like, you can really put away your drink. And I'm like, yeah, because I've been drinking for about 5 years before you guys.
But the part of the reason as to why America's beers have become such an international meme, and sorry to like judge, but it's this
Yep.
product specifically that kind of made you a laughingstock internationally. Bud Light is actually terrible. So the fact that this happened to them is great news. And I joke about the whole, bro, he drinks the drink, so he must be gay. Well, even the gays agree. Too gay for us. Get out of here. This is the part of the story that people seem to have not picked up on, because of course you can't be homosexual without being transphobic. So just
Right.
loads of gay bars have stopped serving Bud Light because, well, not because they think people are going to start arguing and fighting each other about being gay in the gay bar. It's kind of given, which is why it's fun. But instead, they're arguing about, do you not know what being gay is? Because if someone's transgender and can become a man through saying they are, and then I'm a homophobic person for not wanting to have sex with that man with no penis, you've kind of destroyed what the concept of being gay is. Because, gay men, funnily enough, like cock. Quite fans of it, it turns out.
Did you just describe gay bars as being fun, Callum?
They are fun. Do you
Moving
remember the
on.
one in Canterbury?
Which one?
No, there was one down the road.
Was it? Oh, so when they did glitter bomb nights at Tokyo Tea Rooms.
Something like that. But it was cheaper than every other place in Canterbury.
I think that's only because they kept buying you drinks, Callum.
Well, I got free drinks. Anyway, also did the 2 litre things, the Steins. Nowhere else in Canterbury did that, so...
But did when you turned around, did they go plop plop fizz fizz
No,
anytime?
you go
No.
with friends just to make sure. Anyway, trust the gays. No joke, don't ban me YouTube, please. Anyway, but you can see here, loads of gay bars just being like, yeah, we're not having Bud Light. So not only are the non-gays not drinking it, the gays are also not drinking it because, well, it's gay. And, and then who's left? Exactly. Because you may remember that lady who did all this, and she gave an interview as to why, and her reasoning was that, well, our customer base was not growing because it was all those damn straight white men drinking product, whereas the real drinkers were the Rainbow Brigade. And then not even the Rainbow Brigade are drinking. So you now have 0 customers, 0 sales, but the future is bright.
It's actually encouraging as well, because so the other angle that I covered with Dan after you covered the marketing angle was the fact that they're signed on to the Corporate Equality Index, which is part of the ESG scoring, and it's basically run by the Human Rights Campaign, and they're the biggest LGBT lobbying group in the world, and so they've got hundreds of law firms, the Open Society Foundation, BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, and a bunch of corporations signed on, and they give you a scorecard for if you pay for your employees' gender transitions, you do pronouns, or you have LGBT people on your board or in your marketing, and so you get subsidized to do this, even if it's unprofitable. The thing is, this is so unprofitable that now the head of BlackRock is saying, I'm kind of questioning some ESG investment again. So this is actually a flashpoint case of not just challenging get woke, go broke from the customer base, but also it's counteracting how much money ESG can prop up these companies. This is really good for us.
And there is also an easy way to solve it, which of course we'll get to. But firstly, Miller Lite also made an ad talking about how they were mad at women in bikinis. This is the next link here. It's been brought back up. It's an old advert. It's not new.
Right.
It's back in the day when Yas Queen, feminist, was popular. But that's dead and gone. So, I mean, I'm surprised people even mistook it for a modern day ad, frankly, but whatever. But the whole point here just being, I don't like women in bikinis, from the marketing lady in charge, and her whole reasoning is, I don't look as good as them. Which is entirely who you put in charge of your ad department. Of course, because that'll go well. We can go to the next one here. We can see the lady responsible here. She is on the Stephen Colbert Report, because that's usually where ad executives go.
Yep.
Like, no. She's here talking about how Stephen Colbert is a model white male because he's for the Rainbow Brigade.
Well, he platforms any member of the regime, and that's why she's on there. She
Any
should be a
leftist.
nobody, but she's not.
But again, I mean, look into the mindset of the kind of person you hired to be in charge of your advertising. Leftist who's obsessed with race politics. Good job. This isn't even just like a guess from one advert. If you go to the next one here, I think it's Myth Informed. We're also putting up. These are internal documents internal videos from Miller Lite's internal force, where they're telling them about diversity and inclusion and blah blah blah. And it's as bad as you can guess. And I'm not going to waste my time because we all have to deal with it. But Joe Rogan saw this on his podcast, and also again just gave a speech about being like, "Does no one learn?" Yeah, no one does learn. Speaking of old adverts, though, I thought we'd just check in with Bud Light's old adverts. I don't know if you've seen them. They had one specific one, which has been redug up, which didn't age well for them.
Right.
Aged well for everyone else. Let's play it. It's Bud Light taking the piss out of the fact that men would dominate women's pool. If only they dressed like women.
Huh.
Let's play.
And remember, you're playing for Bud Light, lady. Boys are back in town.
These guys are good. Who are you calling guys? Yeah.
Looks like you're in the finals. Ma'am, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
You're the defending ladies pool champion?
Yes, I am.
There's just something amazing about that. The meme magic. The company really went 180 on the whole thing.
Do you remember when the villain of Ace Ventura was actually a dude, and that was like all the police officers when they found that out were vomiting?
That was the plot.
That was part of the joke. And then now we're meant to.
Damn, men used to dress up as women to drink Bud Light, and now they do more than dress up. Anyway, they are doing one thing to try and get back customers, which is, as you can see here, they released a version of Bud Light with camouflage on. The irony of deception.
Yeehaw, brother.
No, but the ironic thing about, camouflage is used for deception, and no one learned. No one learned a damn thing. I don't think it's going to help them. Ford also decided to jump in on the situation of being like, my car covered in dirt, but if I wash my car, it becomes a rainbow car. Because no one learned. God damn it. But Heckler Koch.
What?
They learned. They learned fast.
Sorry, which company?
Heckler Koch. You know Koch?
Oh, okay.
You have something against Germans?
Coke.
Koch. Anyway, Heckler and Koch over here, they decided to have a bit of a moment because they put someone also in charge of their social media management, didn't check that they were sane, and quickly regretted it when they started responding to all the beer stuff. Responding, gun bunnies no, beer bunnies no, supporting women 100 in one tweet. And I was like, okay, that's it's not the usual messaging for gun company. But they backed this up, the social media manager, because obviously people start pointing out, hang on a minute, where are you going with this? I know where this train leads. This leads to me not buying the gun. I don't want to do that. I like a gun. Anyway, they wrote, wow, woke? Allow me to translate. Objectifying women was never a good marketing strategy.
Yes, it was. Sorry, like I hate the porn industry, but yeah, it is.
Well, it's, as much as even you can admit it. Like, no, that's a great marketing strategy.
It's effective.
For anyone just to make it, it's a bad marketing strategy. No. You know, it's not convincing. Right? They decided to write in the firearms industry. That was a prominent strategy up until recently. Many industries have done that included. Have done the same, including beer corporations. As an actual woman writing this, find that. I'll use more words for you to comprehend. Using bunnies to sell products is trash marketing. Supporting women by not doing that is good. Let's get back to the grid girls thing. Remember the grid girls?
Yes.
Basically, women in bikinis who look good.
They're still in the UFC. They still have them.
Yeah, I believe it was Formula One who decided to ban them on the basis that it wasn't supporting women by paying women to do that. The girls were not happy about it.
No,
but
I know that Lani Dowding hasn't been too delighted when she lost her job.
Yeah. The next one here. And you can see the person in question. The social media manager of Heckler & Koch, who's lecturing the gun industry about modelling over here. Objectifying women, used to be a bikini model.
Oh my god, she's not even fit.
No, she's not. They're never usually on bikini models. But
She looks like, do you remember when Patrick covered himself in caramel in that SpongeBob episode?
Orange.
Yeah,
that's all my. No, actually, it's year 11. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah,
The end of secondary school in the UK, when all of the women discover fake tan and think that's a good idea. But if you go back as well, we can see her social media posts on LinkedIn, because all these freaks who come up with these ideas have LinkedIn accounts. And it's just like, you should take more care. Should really take more care. Anyway, Heckler & Koch saw that and went, we're not Bud Light. We're not going down that route. To hell with that. And very quickly put out this tweet. And this is the one simple trick to make sure you don't get boycotted and lose your entire industry. If you go to the next tweet, we can see it. In which they decided to point out just an image that says, Heckler & Koch does not engage in identity politics. A policy was violated. Changes were made.
Well done.
The road forward.
There we go.
Instantly forgiven. 16,000 like-a-roonies. The only pushback I ever saw checking this out, because let's be straight, I don't think there are too many American leftists profile pronoun using shoy cuck. I feel like there should be some kind of like cowboy talk coming around here with your pronouns and your soy paste. The meme you're thinking of. Are not using rifles, so they're not using guns. They're not fans of the guns. They're very much on the do I have to own one? Oh, that's very sad. Brigade. So Heckler and Koch were just like no. Deal with that immediately. Order 66 it, and it was done. She is gone. Heckler and Koch reputation saved. You can now buy the rifle, and
guilt-free,
just like before, where it was you buying a rifle for money instead of buying the rifle and having to fund endless propaganda at you about why women don't look good in bikinis. I swear.
I hope you appreciated that segment from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, and if you want to support the work we're doing, you can sign up to the website and watch videos like this. This is Symposium number 18, Debating Classical Liberalism, where Stelios debates in favour and Carl debates against. And if you want to find out what Stelios is doing, you can check out his Twitter here. Thank you very much for watching.